Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be continuing what if Jiraiya and Tsunade raised Naruto. But before we get into that, please like to make some announcements. First off, the what if Goku Black raised Goku. And what if it doesn't reach 30 likes by the end of Friday of next week, I will take it down off my channel. It'll no longer be on there. Maybe if someone asks for it later down the line, I'll maybe bring it back up. But if not, then that'll be it for that. But yeah, I'll put a link to it down in the description to the folder that they're in, or whatever it's called, playlist that they're in. All it has to do is one of them has to get to at least 30 likes, and yeah. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So we open this part with them all, gathering to talk about the mission with Tazuna. So as they're discussing the mission with Tazuna, Tazuna begins to tell them how he didn't believe they would send such big assassins his way, and the third Hokage not tolerating this answer because they did just send their Jinchuriki out there, which could have ended horrifically for the village if Naruto would have just lashed out and would have been able to control himself. So Hiruzen is not having it. So he tells Tazuna that a group of Anbu members will be escorting him back to where he needs to be, and he'll be lucky if he's ever allowed back into the Leaf Village after this stunt that he pulled. And the Anbu team that's escorting him comes in the room and grabs him, and they leave. And the third Hokage looks toward Naruto and tells him, how did it feel? And Naruto, immediately knowing what he's talking about, he tells him that he felt angry for he felt angry the entire time, but since the Nine Tails wasn't really trying to push the seal out, break the seal, it wasn't really overwhelming anger. It was just a constant, steady stream of unbridled rage. And Hiruzen tells, that's Naruto's cleanest depiction of what he felt. But Hiruzen tells Naruto and Jiraiya and Tsunade that they should start training him to hone some of the Nine Tails' power, given the circumstances of Naruto's predicament. And Jiraiya kind of gets serious, and so does Tsunade. Naruto, confused, he begins to start trying to push them, trying to figure out why exactly do they want him to get stronger with the Nine Tails and with the Nine Tails chakra. But Tsunade, shrugging this off, grabs Naruto and tells Naruto that it's going to be her turn to train him for the time being, while Jiraiya goes off and does some things. And Jiraiya tells Naruto that he'll be back in a few days' time. He just has to go and do some reconnaissance. And Naruto asking him, shouldn't you be going to Tsunade? And Tsunade tells Naruto that your training is important, but what he's doing is also important. So one of us has to stay back. And since I'm not a great reconnaissance person, I'm just gonna stay back to train you. And Naruto, just accepting this, he decides that, why not? So Tsunade and Naruto goes off and starts training and durability wise. So Naruto is just using the small amount of chakra that he had, the small amount of Nine Tails chakra that he's able to tap into after he run out of his own. So at first it goes from him just training, basic training with Tsunade, to training the Nine Tails chakra after he runs out of his own, which still takes a lot because the Nine Tails doesn't disrupt Naruto's chakra flow in this one, allowing him to be much stronger with his attacks. And since he has so many like people around him that trains him, it's like just amazing. So yeah. So as Naruto and Tsunade are training, Kakashi appears as like almost instantly after they start like round 4, and the rounds last like anyway. So after like the round 4 starts, Kakashi appears, attracting the attention of Tsunade, allowing Naruto to get in a hit, but this doesn't really affect Tsunade as she just throws Naruto off to the side. And after like she throws Naruto off to the side, she starts walking toward Kakashi, and Kakashi tells her that she should go meet up with Jiraiya. It seems like, given his message, that he's a little injured. And like on the scroll that Kakashi got, it had a little blood on it. So Tsunade like immediately vanishes, like before Naruto could even say anything about them like starting their training session again. And Kakashi, seeing Naruto walking over and knowing the circumstances of what's going on, he immediately tries to like duck the scroll away. But Naruto still kind of sees like the blood on the scroll, and he did see Kakashi show it to Tsunade or pull something out of his pocket and put it in front of Tsunade. So he does know like there's something wrong. So he kind of tries to figure out what's going on, trying to press Kakashi into telling him. But Kakashi kind of just shrugs it off and disappears. But like as soon as Kakashi disappears, Sasuke and Hinata and Sakura all come walking through the little forest area, seeing this massive crater just small amounts, like small craters dance throughout the little training ground. And Sasuke thanks Naruto for ruining their only training ground, and Naruto tells him that their only training ground is really close to his house, so it doesn't really matter. And this is like the last thing that they do today. So after this day is over with, the next day starts, and Naruto ends up finally finding out where Jiraiya and Tsunade went to, where Tsunade went to, and it was to heal Jiraiya because he got into an altercation with Orochimaru, leading in more things to come. So after Jiraiya and Tsunade get back to the village, Jiraiya decides that, the third Hokage decides to push the Chunin exams back even further, so there would be no actual altercations. Their shinobi would be strong enough to handle anything that comes into the village trying to destroy it. So they tell the kids to start training to get stronger, even if it makes y'all seem unfair in the Chunin exams. If it makes it y'all teams feel like y'all are too strong, it doesn't really matter. Y'all just need to get stronger, because if something does happen, eventually y'all are gonna have to step in if things, push over too quickly. So this ends up prompting Naruto to go to Mount Nyaboku to try to learn Sage Mode. But due to Naruto being a kid, and although the Nine-Tails is not messing with his chakra, he still does not appreciate Naruto trying to use Sage Mode chakra, and Naruto has the Nine-Tails inside of him. So it doesn't work. Naruto has kind of an imperfect kind of Sage Mode, and he can't use it for long. So instead of Naruto working on Sage Mode, they try to get him to master more of the Nine-Tails power, which he does, but he only is able to actually muster enough for one tail, which is still an amazing amount of power, but in the grand scale of things, there is really not, compared to a Sannin level person, if that Sannin knows what they're doing. So after Naruto comes back to the village, the Chunin exams start, and Naruto and Gaara immediately attract each other's attention as like the two biggest people there. And they start like walking up toward each other, but Naruto gets called over by Jiraiya, I messed up anyway. So Jiraiya tells Naruto to stay like away from any other people. We don't want people to know that you have like 9 tails, like the 9 tails inside of him. And Naruto like shrugs his shoulders and was like, it's kind of too late for that, pointing to Gaara, as Gaara's like kind of scowling, looking at Naruto. But like he gets pulled away by his people. And Naruto, like, anyway, I guess the fights are about to start. And every fight kind of goes to canon except for Naruto. Like, Naruto fights Gaara instead, Neji fights Sasuke. So the fights were switched. So Sasuke and Neji fight one on for a bit, I'm gonna say. But given that Neji, no, actually I don't know. I don't know. But Naruto and Neji fights before they fight anyway, so let's just during Naruto and Gaara's fight, Gaara does end up tapping into the One Tail's power, which makes Naruto tap into the Nine Tail's power. And before they could continue their fight, Naruto was able to land a few more hits on Gaara. But when Gaara transformed into the One Tail's, Orochimaru and his people did attack, which led to not the death of Hiruzen, but the severe injury of Hiruzen, because Tsunade and Jiraiya were there to stop Orochimaru from killing Hiruzen, or to stop Hiruzen from using the Reaper Death Seal to seal away Orochimaru's hands. So the third Hokage is still alive. He's just bedridden for the time being. But due to their plan not going as perfectly as they planned it, Sasuke was unable to get the curse mark put on him. Karin got left behind due to the Sound 4 not really caring about the weak Uzumaki, and ends up getting found by Tsunade, which out of all of the things that she ends up figuring out about Karin, she does take pity on her and try to reason with the third Hokage to not put her behind bars. And so, yeah, but she, at the price of her not being behind bars, Tsunade has to take personal care of her, which ends up leading to Naruto getting to know the other Uzumaki. But that's for another part. This is where I'll be ending this part off. If y'all enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi.